The law of exposure can either amplify or hinder your manifestation process, whether it's with love, with relationships, fitness, money, abundance. What you feed your mind each day through your environment, through social media, through relationships, or even through your own self talk can significantly impact your ability to manifest the life that you desire. So, by consciously, meaning by having the awareness actively, like you are right now, by consciously choosing positive, growth minded, and growth oriented energy, you will align with your desired outcomes. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. My name is Jessica, your host of A Stronger You. And today I'm really excited for this episode because we are diving into one of the laws of the universe that I have not spoken about yet. So, just for a little recap, if you're new here, last week we talked about the seven spiritual laws of success. And the week before, we talked about a bunch of the universal laws. Now, on top of both of those episodes, there are even more laws that I have not shared with you yet. And just like I promised, and just like I mentioned, the episodes to come, we're going to dive deep into some of these laws more specifically. Let's dive in. Oh, one more thing before we go any further. If you are loving a Stronger You podcast, I would love your support. And if you can leave a review on Spotify or Apple Music, it would mean the absolute world to me. And on YouTube, you can subscribe to a Stronger You. So, the law of exposure. So, this law refers to the principle that whatever you expose yourself to, meaning whether you are going to a physical place, you're surrounding yourself with specific people, whatever you expose yourself to consistently on a regular basis will shape your thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. Now, keyword here is consistently and regularly. So if you expose yourself to a negative situation, it does not mean you're going to just manifest more negative things for the rest of your life. This is talking about consistency because you are what you do repetitively. So the law of exposure is actually, it comes from the idea that our mind and our emotions are highly influenced by our environment. So I'm going to read that again. Our mind and our emotions are highly influenced by not only just our environment, but the people, the experiences, and the energy we surround ourselves with. And when we can control our emotions, we can literally take the front seat, drive of the car, and dictate where we want our life to go. So really understanding where your emotional state is so essential and so key because all emotions are is energy in motion. So, a little example here. I'm going to give you a positive example and a not so positive example. So, if you expose yourself to positive, growth minded people, growth minded energies like books, podcasts, mentors, that are really focused on success, abundance, and all things along those lines, you're much more likely to develop an empowering mindset and take aligned actions with that energy. And on the other hand, if you consistently expose yourself to negative environments like toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, or behaviors that just aren't serving you, that can hinder your personal growth. So, I want to talk to you about the example that why I had this idea to film this specific podcast. So, something I used to do when I was younger, guys, I did this when I like first got my license. I would drive through the towns that had mansions. So I live in Bergen County, New Jersey, and I just loved doing it. I loved being in the environments of these beautiful homes. I just felt so good and it motivated me. That's what it like those were my specific words. I remember telling my mom like, "Oh mom, I'm going to go for a drive in like Alpine." She would be like, "Oh, what are you doing up there?" I'm like, "I'm just driving. I love looking at the houses. It just motivates me." And now that I am where I am now, I understand what that was actually doing. That was exposing me to a different type of energy. That energy was high vibes and that energy motivated me. And so basically, was this yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. I went house shopping. And so I drove through the rich neighborhoods with all of these beautiful homes, specifically in Alpine, New Jersey, if you're familiar. And I was just manifesting. So it's part of my manifestation formula that I do is I literally physically put myself into the environments that I want to be around. And, sometimes it's free, like just driving around, right? Like I didn't have to pay for anything, besides gas or whatever. But that is an example of the law of exposure, consistently putting myself in around these homes that I want to, eventually maybe have a home like that one day. Another example that I used to do, again, before I ever knew what this was, and I remember this specifically, I used to go to a gym that was $20 a month. It was called Retro Fitness. That was my first gym ever, 20 bucks a month. And I remember when I got my big girl job, when I got my 9 to 5 job, I was like, I am going to quit Retro Fitness and I'm going to sign up for Equinox because I could now afford it. And I went there for a day pass and I just felt so much more high vibes, so much more bougier there compared to Retro Fitness. Again, like I always say, there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, I'm so grateful that I can go to a gym and I have the means for that. But I am just explaining from my personal experience and what's going on in my life. So no judgment. So here I am in Equinox. I'm like, wow, eucalyptus towels. Wow, clean treadmills. Wow, like I deserve this. And so I decided to sign up. And another thought that went through my head was, well, if the physical environment is like this, then I'm sure the people are top tier. And I'm sure the people have a different level of class and have a different level of success if they're surrounding themselves in a gym like this. And so that was honestly, I feel like that was like one of the first big laws of exposure, like switches that I had without realizing it was the law of exposure. And this continued throughout my life. I did this when I moved to Miami. I put myself in the places where I wanted to be around the certain people. I would, work with certain mentors who I really looked up to and who I aspired to be like, not like literally be like them, but there's specific characteristics and qualities of their life that I really desired. And I thought, well, as per law of exposure, whatever you expose yourself to consistently will shape your thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. I'm going to do it. So, like I mentioned before, this doesn't have to cost you money. So, I want to talk about how you can use this with manifesting love, manifesting, let's say, like health, your dream body, and manifesting money. So the law of exposure, it's really emphasized in the personal development world and in manifestation practices because honestly, it highlights the importance of consciously choosing what you allow into your life and recognizing that exposure has the power to either uplift you or hold you back. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, it has the power to either keep you stuck or propel you forward. So, really understanding this principle is really going to support you with your manifestations. Guys, I want you to ask yourself, where in my life right now can I expose myself to new levels? Where in my life can I make a switch where maybe it's a financial change? Maybe I'm going to sign up for a different gym, or maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just going to go to a grocery store in a town that I really want to live in one day, right? So the law of exposure is also tied closely to the idea of like really being intentional with your circle, with the social media and just media in general that you consume, and the overall energy around you to support the life you desire. So I want you to, just reflect here with me and ask yourself, who are the top 5 people I hang out with? I mean, that quote is true. You're the sum of the 5 people you hang around with. Law of exposure. Okay. What media am I consuming on a daily basis? Do I follow the news? Am I waking up every morning and turning on the damn news where they're talking about we're in a recession and prices are going up and there's, bad things happening in the world? Am I continuously exposing myself to that negative media that's already lowering my frequency right when I wake up? Am I following toxic drama pages on Instagram and TikTok where all they talk about are the new wags of the NFL or, what happened in so and so's circle? What are you consuming your energy with? Your energy is fucking valuable, okay? I want you to treat your own self and your own energy like you are a fucking queen or you are a king. Like your energy is fucking rich, okay? You've worked so hard and so smartly. If you follow me on TikTok, you know what I'm saying. You've worked so intentionally to become the person you are now with the awareness that you have now. So why the fuck are you going to let some negative toxic shit come into your energy? Today's the day that you're going to remove any of that and just watch. Doing these small gestures are actually part of the bigger picture and going to propel you so much more forward. Our subconscious mind is so damn powerful. And whatever we consume on a daily basis gets plugged into it. So let's choose to influence our thoughts, behaviors, feelings, actions with positive exposure. So going back to manifesting love, your dream body and money, let's talk about manifesting love and relationships using the law of exposure. So if you surround yourself with healthy, loving relationships, that's going to support you, obviously, in manifesting love. And this could mean like spending time with your friends now, or even couples who give off the energy or the type of partnership that you desire. Okay. And if you don't have that in your physical reality, go on social media. There are, relationship coaches. There are, relationships that are on social media. People are showcasing their relationships and they're positive and they're loving. And what is that self talk that you are telling yourself when you're watching them? Are you putting out the energy like, yes, I love that for them. Oh my God, I love how happy they are. Are you cheering them on? Or when you see that, does that trigger you? And are the thoughts that are coming up in your head like, oh, you know, it's probably fake, or "Ugh, why is everyone else happy and I'm not?" I want you to start speaking positively to those things because that's how you're going to speed up your manifestations. If you keep, if every time you see someone kissing each other or in love, and your first response is, ugh, or, oh, it gets you upset. No, 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 no. We're switching and we're doing the exact opposite because you're putting yourself in an energy that's going to keep attracting not having the love. Okay. So, just like what I said, if you're continuously now giving off that negative energy or you're physically surrounding yourself with toxic relationships through friends or just unhealthy relationships in your circle, that can subconsciously reinforce more negative patterns in your life. So I really want you to limit your exposure to that negative shit right now. Right now, manifesting your dream body slash manifesting health. So to use the law of exposure to manifest your dream body, you could do things like follow fitness influencers. Okay. Start, ma- start going to gyms, start going to group fitness gyms. Okay. Especially if you wanna meet more like-minded people. I met the most amazing people through fitness, especially group fitness. And that's an amazing way to practice a lot of exposure is surround yourself with people who love to work out. Follow influencers and trainers who talk about positive body image and, sustainable longevity practices. Join, run clubs or walk clubs. They have walk clubs now. Like there is absolutely no excuse for you to not be taking the action steps to manifest the health and the body of your dreams. So, looking at it on the other end, I really want to invite you to fucking avoid, okay? Let that shit go. Unfollow. Unfollow the social media accounts or magazines that are just promoting like unrealistic body standards. Okay? Unfollow. Next, I want to talk about manifesting money. So, I want you to surround yourself with people who have a positive relationship with money. Okay? You know, Go look for some podcasts, look for some money books, go on YouTube, look at YouTube channels, listen to my podcast. I talk about money all the time. You know, focus on people who are talking about money in a positive way. Maybe you want to search like financial literacy or learn more about abundance. And yeah, that's that, period. Period. On the other hand, just like I said with your dream body and love, like if you expose yourself to people, environments, energies that are in a scarcity mindset, like a lack mindset, you are going to that energy is going to be transferred to you. Whether it's friends, family who constantly speak in lack, like, oh, I don't have money, I'm in debt, oh, I just got another bill, because that's going to reinforce negative beliefs around money to you. And not judging them, but just understanding that that's not helping you. Okay. That is not helping you. And if you are in a place like where I once was, where I didn't have people around me who really spoke positively around money, girl, boy, I made new friends. I simply made new friends by the law of exposure. Put myself in different rooms to attract different people. I really hope this episode helps you understand the law of exposure on a deeper level. I know we didn't really talk about well, no, we didn't talk about this one at all, in the past 2 episodes, and like I say in every episode with all these laws and universal laws, this is not man-made, like, this is a literal law of the universe. It's, all of these laws can be related back to nature. If you think of plant a plant's only gonna grow with the right environment that it's around, okay? If it's constantly raining around that plant, do you think that plant's gonna grow? Or does that plant need an environment that has sunlight, maybe a little rain? Maybe it's cold, maybe it's a hot climate. Thank you guys so much for tuning in as always. Don't forget to leave a rating and a review, and I will see you guys next week on my next episode.